Hi everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today is the in progress video for the collaboration that I'm doing with Rebecca over at Yarn and Pajamas called Hooked on Wreaths, where we make a wreath for each season. So right now we are working on our winter wreaths. Earlier in the year we did our spring, summer, and fall wreaths, and as I said, right now we are working on winter. So I'm gonna admit I am recording this a couple days early. Today is Wednesday. I think it's December 6th. I think. I am moving. Well, the packers come tomorrow, and then I believe we move Friday. So like they scheduled it as a Thursday, Friday move. So we'll see what day they move which stuff. I don't know. But I'm recording this a little bit early because of that, because I know that it's just going to be nuts tomorrow, and there's no way, and Friday, there's no way I'm going to have time for things. So, and I also wish that I could say that I was further into my wreath than I am, but let's see what I have done and kind of what I'm thinking for the rest. So kind of a reminder, if you did not watch the intro video for this, I was saying in my intro video that for my winter wreath, because winter runs from December 21st to around March 21st, I think sometimes the seasonal days might change by a day, but it's approximately December 21st to March 21st. So because of that, I didn't want a winter wreath that was Christmas related. I wanted one that was winter related. So that is the route that I was going, and I decided to do one that is snowman themed. So I had my wreath. It is still not covered yet, but I did make the cover for my wreath, and I'm just pulling everything out of my bag. I got a little bag here. And so I did make the wreath wrap, and this is it. I have it all wound up here before I shoved it in the bag. So this is my long end for sewing it on, but this is what the wrap looks like before sewing it on. It's about this long, so it goes all the way around. Let me just wrap it around here quickly. And it looks short, but this is gonna stretch to fit on here, no problem. And I don't wanna stretch it too much because this kind of, when you stretch it, it wants to stay stretched. But as you can see, I can pull it to fit around here, no problem. And the yarn that I used for the wrap is this Loops and Threads Cozy, I don't know how you pronounce this, Bocile. I hope you can read that label. And the color that I'm using is, this is color number 15. I thought it had a name on it though. I guess not, it just says color number 15. So this is, I'll show you that end again. This is kind of a fluffy yarn. It looks like this. And so I used an 8mm hook to crochet this up, and this is all single crochets. And you can feel the stitches, but you can't see the stitches. So for each row, yeah, I counted out the row to make sure that I had the right number of stitches. And then once in a while, what I did was I just put a stitch marker at the beginning and the end of the row. And that way, when I'm sewing it on my wreath, I can use those stitch markers to attach it together on my wreath to assist with sewing it on. And it also helps me keep in line because I can't see the rows, to know that I'm not getting like way off track and sewing it like this, because I have a tendency to do that when I sew things together. Unfortunately, you can't, at least I haven't figured out a way to crochet it together on the wreath. I do find it easier just to sew it together with the needle and thread. I just didn't get to sewing it on here yet. I got this far and I made it, and then I decided that I wanted to work on my snowman feature next. So I put this away at that point and started on the snowman, and I'll show you where I went with the snowman for it. So I'm going to leave my wreath out so I can show you that part. But so I made this snowman. I'm trying not to knock everything off the table. So I made this snowman, and as you can see, he's headless. And I got this far and I decided that he's too small. His arms kind of stick out. I'm going to have to sew his arms down a bit because his arms kind of stick out. But I decided he's too small. So I stopped here and decided that I would make a new one. And the other reason why I stopped was I ran out of stuffing. Now, as I was saying, I am moving this weekend. I have a whole bunch of our stuff is in storage. It's a whole story. If you're new here, it's a whole thing. I've done previous videos constantly about what's going on and why my stuff is in storage, but I have one of those giant boxes that you get at Michael's of stuffing, and it's all in storage. So I'm gonna get all my stuff back from storage on Monday. So because of that, I did not want to go and buy another bag of stuffing in the meantime. So I will finish him and make him just for ourselves. It won't be for the wreath, but you know, I'll finish him after once I get some stuffing. So I got that far with him and then decided he wasn't big enough, and I decided to start a new snowman. And again, my yarn is all hooked up. So this is my new snowman, and it is not stuffed at all. And I hope that this one's big enough, and I hope once it's stuffed, it's shaped better. It should be shaped fine, it's just there's no stuffing in here. And I'm about to start the decreases on the head. So I stopped here because I wanted to stuff it before I went any further. So once I get the stuffing out, I will get back to work on the snowman. So unfortunately, that is how far I've gotten on my wreath. So I've decided I'm gonna do the wreath cover, one large snowman, and some embellishments for it. So some of you guys sent me some suggestions on my last video for embellishments. Some of them sound really great, so I'm going to keep some of those in mind. Haven't decided exactly where I'm going to go with that yet, but I do have a couple more weeks. So because first day of winter isn't until December 21st. So I got a little bit more time to work on it, and once we get moved in, this is going to be my first crochet priority. So that's where I am with my wreath. I wish I could say I have more done. Again, that not having the stuffing here has kind of held me up because I'm going to make, I want him to be a plain, boring snowman. He needs some accessories. So he's going to need a scarf. He's going to need a hat, those type of things. In order to make sure that, I mean, I could have made a scarf now, but the hat is kind of hard to make without having the snowman available and stuffed to know what size hat I need. So I'm going to wait until snowman is done to make a hat. And then I have some other embellishments I wanted to do, as I was saying. I'm thinking maybe some snowflakes, maybe some snowballs. Somebody suggested some mittens, which I think would look really cute on there. So I might think of some way to put that on there. Trying to think what else my suggestions were off the top of my head, and I'm not able to think today. There's just, I guess there's too much going on. There's too much going on in my head today that I can't think of what else. But there'll be more. There'll be more added on to this, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys the final reveal. And I'm looking forward to seeing the progress on Rebecca's. So go check out Rebecca over at Yarn and Pajamas. I will have her linked in the description box below. And I think that is it for today. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for liking my videos, and I will see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye everyone.